Hello, my friend, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. Let me give you an update on Kairi Sane before we jump into the April 27th edition of Monday Night Raw and what it means for Backlash in Tampa. So this is what Dave Meltzer reported about Kairi Sane. WWE releasing Kairi Sane was reportedly due to her indicating she wanted to move back to Japan. The Kairi thing, the reason she was cut was I think she had kind of indicated that she wanted to move back to Japan. The reality is this is not a money issue. This company makes whatever it is. The revenue between UFC and WWE and throwing everything in, the revenue's in the billions of dollars. So Dave Meltzer reported that maybe it wasn't because of quote-unquote budget cuts like they always say, that it is post-WrestleMania. It's mostly so they can make room on the roster for new NXT call-ups who they think might be bigger stars than the people they released. That's why I don't really understand the Kairi Sane one, because she was a massive star, a great wrestler, and most women in the WWE roster can't compete with Kairi Sane in terms of her level of in-ring production, entertainment value, and things of that nature. And so it would make more sense to me if Kairi Sane then had indicated, hey, I would like to move back to Japan. Let's just end our contract here. I don't know if that's true. Dave Meltzer has been known to lie and spread false news, especially in terms of wrestling, with rumor mill and whatever the case may be. So who knows if it's true or not, but that might make some fans feel a little bit more at ease about the Kairi Sane situation, that maybe her and WWE ended on good terms, but that she just wanted to kind of move back to Japan and build her life there for the rest of her days, which is a beautiful thing. That's her home country, and she should be where her heart is, because becoming a wrestler, becoming a WWE superstar, especially from a foreign country, is really hard, and you have to sacrifice a lot. And I'm sure her and Asuka and Io Sky and all these people who are from foreign countries sacrifice a lot. They don't see their families a ton. I mean, so maybe she really was feeling like she wanted to move back to Japan, and that's the best thing for her health, her family, and whatever the case may be. So maybe that's true, maybe it's not. I want to think it is, because that makes me feel better about the situation. Now let's talk about the April 27th edition of Monday Night Raw. Kind of a middle-of-the-road show, nothing too good, nothing really too bad. Kind of built us up a little bit for Backlash, which now we have 3 matches announced for Backlash, which I'm sure there'll be a few more coming soon. But what I'm really fired up about is Rusev. I love the way Rusev is being built right now. I mean, this guy came back to WWE ready to work. Unlike Aleister Black, who came back to WWE thinking that he was going to get handed everything, now most likely Aleister Black will not be working on a major television program for a very long time because he's burnt every bridge. No one wants him back in AEW, certainly not coming back to WWE. I don't know where he goes. People think he might be TNA bound, or he's just going to continue, having his wife Twitch stream, and he's going to run his school, and I don't know, whatever he's going to do. But he thinks he's the best in the world. Well, you can't be the best in the world if no company wants to hire you, because you're very, 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 very hard to work with. And so I love the way that Rusev is being built right now. I'm a huge, massive fan of Rusev. I would love to see him take the Intercontinental Championship from Penta, but then you also have Javon Evans in the mix. You also have Ethan Page in the mix. Maybe we will see a fatal 4-way at Backlash, which I think would be really awesome. I agree with Shawn Michaels, because Shawn Michaels had begged TKO to keep Javon Evans in NXT for about 6 months longer, and I think that would have been better for Javon Evans, because yes, he can do very acrobatic, high-flying moves, but his basics, his fundamentals still are not great. His working punches, his kicks, some of his strikes just look hokey. And so if those look hokey, the all flippy-doo-dah, duck, dodge, dive moves also look even worse. But if you have crispness and sharpness and execution, think AJ Styles' level of execution, then the other stuff you do is even more impactful. But if you don't have the fundamentals, which I don't think he does that well, he has a little bit of the fundamentals, obviously. He's wrestling on Monday Night Raw. but he needs more. He needs more time, and he didn't get it. And so I agree with Shawn Michaels in that regard. But it just looks like Triple H and WWE and Monday Night Raw are throwing him in the deep end. I don't think he's ready for an Intercontinental Championship. I would not be mad if Ethan Page won the Intercontinental Championship. I'm a huge fan of All Ego. Been a huge fan of him since we were doing indie shows together. But I think the right person to dethrone Penta would be Rusev, especially the way they're booking him and featuring him. I think that's a really, really good deal. I'm also excited for the Oba Femi Open Challenge. I hope Gunther at some point calls that Open Challenge. I hope it's just not like jobber after jobber after jobber after jobber, and he just keeps beating people up. Because we now, as fans, we already believe in Oba Femi. We don't need to believe in him anymore. We know he's a beast. He's the monster. He's the ruler. We love Oba Femi. We now need to see him face some real challengers, and we also need to see him sink his teeth into a legit feud that is going to create him into the superstar that he's on the way to becoming. So I'm interested in that very much so. But of course, the most interesting storyline happening on Monday Night Raw is going to be this Jacob Fatu Roman Reigns storyline. What's going to happen with the bloodline? Why didn't the Usos come out to help Roman Reigns on the April 27th edition of Monday Night Raw? Are they going to Jacob? What's the situation there? Will WWE actually pull the trigger on Jacob Fatu at Backlash? I think not. I think, again, WWE is slowly building up their new stars in Braun Breaker, in Jacob Fatu, and in Oba Femi. Now, Jacob Fatu is not a young man by any means, but he's a new star in WWE. Oba Femi is 29, 30 years old. Braun Breaker is 29 or 30 years old. These guys are not young, but they're young in the business or in WWE. Jacob Fatu is not young in the business. He's been doing it for a very long time. The other two, very young in the business. So I think those are the three stars moving forward that WWE is going to put a lot of steam and momentum behind. And you might see either three of those men, one of those men, actually main eventing WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia, potentially, because I don't think Roman Reigns will have the title at Saudi Arabia next year. I think he'll just have a marquee matchup, Roman Reigns, The Rock. You might be building to CM Punk, Cody Rhodes for the world or for the WWE Undisputed Championship, if Cody Rhodes is still in that picture by then, and then it leaves you with the world title. So the world title could be Fatu, could be Braun Breaker. I mean, Oba Femi could be in there as well. And so there's a lot of things happening. And so I really want to see the Oba Femi Open Challenge actually challenge him and see how good he can be in a 10, 15-minute match and elevate his game week in and week out so he is ready for that world title picture. And I love Jacob Fatu, extremely impressed. I know he's on the indies. He wrestled a couple of my friends. He's a great guy. And I love the angle they're taking about he needs this title. He grinded for 12 years. He was homeless. He was in jail. All this stuff. Yes, great. Now he needs the title because he's ready to elevate himself and his family. And the person who has the title doesn't really matter. But it just so happens to be his cousin Roman Reigns. And it's a very interesting storyline. It's starting off great. I don't think the title is going to change hands at Backlash. But I do think this feud is going to extend throughout the summer, and I think it's going to be really good because we have 3 matches already announced for Backlash. We have Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu. We have Asuka versus Io Sky, and we have Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins. Now, Asuka and Io Sky don't have Kairi Sane anymore, but Triple H still decided that he wanted to wrap up this feud, and now they have a match at Backlash, and Asuka and Io Sky are 2 of the best in the world at what they do, so that match is going to be fantastic, and I'm interested to see what actually happens with Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins, because Braun Breaker has to come out of this feud looking like an absolute savage beast if the WWE actually wants him to be the next guy with Jacob Fatu and with Oba Femi, which I believe they do. So I would love to see what angle WWE takes to maintain Seth Rollins' status as the main event guy, but also elevate Braun Breaker into that main event status as well. So I'm interested in all of those things. Again, the April 27th edition of Monday Night Raw was middle of the road, but some good things happened that are going to lead me to be very excited for Backlash and for a little bit of the future with Rusev, Oba Femi, Jacob Fatu, Roman Reigns, things of that nature. Now, let me know what you think. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.